One of the great memories I have of my dad was he had a dark room with his friends, and I would sit with him in the dark room. And that's where I got the history of photography. He was one of the great photographers of his generation, although completely unknown. Like several of his buddies are the famous guys from that era, like Gary Winograd and Burke Uzzell. We would sit in the darkroom and he'd talk to me about the perfect black, achieving the velvet black, right?
I
And
love it.
burning and dodging and framing an image. About his poetry too, like I would always say, like, Dad, send me some of your poems, send me some of your poems. I was like, the reason that I send you my poems is because I'm trying to get you to send yours back in return. And he'd go like, well, I have this book and then I try to rewrite them, and so like after I'm gone, I'll make sure you get that book. None of these, all of these things disappeared. Like
Mm.
all the letters, all the postcards that my dad wrote, his book of poetry, his photographs, like unbelievable amount of photographs. I said to my little brother, like, please, I'm the only one that will know how to take care of these and document them and digitize them. And please let me take on this enormous responsibility.
Did
No.
you ever ask your stepmother or half sister where those things went?
When I went back for my dad's memorial, they wouldn't even let me in his house.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Because it's filled with things of mine and my mom's, and so strange. I don't understand what's going on in your heart. Like, didn't you love this guy?
I'm amazed by how you respond with an open heart and love instead of anger. I'm sure a part of you is angry too, but I see the resilience, Pia. How you have survived a lot of pain over the years is by this incredible attitude. What can you do? There's
Oh,
only
but
so much we can control.
since January, since the current election of the hideous
Yes,
tyrant in power, I've just been crazed. I've felt like absolutely crazed. So, my solution since I was a small child is make art. It's like, okay,
absolutely.
make art. I have this whole idea that I'm like the girl who picks up the straw off the floor and spins it into gold. It's like make art. So since January, I've been on this like wild binge. Like I don't think I've made that much art in that. I mean, I had three major shows. I mean, you mentioned two of them, but it's like the Ocean Matriarchs Orchestra was beautiful and complicated theatrical performance that I did in a collaboration with this young dancer who I love, who runs Late Stage Remedy, which is this dance meditation that happens in the parks all over Vancouver.
It was really beautiful.
It was really beautiful, and I wrote a lot of it, and then filmed a lot of it, and then I performed in it, and I was just like, oh, this is so weird because I haven't really been a performer since I was a kid, so it was weird to be back performing. Oh, that was my dad too, was so commandeering of my art career. When I was a kid, I was a performer. And my dad at a certain point said, you have to pick a different art form because as a dancer, your like career is over by the time you're 20, and you have to pick an art form that you'll be able to do till you're 100. And it was like, no more dancing, like no more, you're out of the dance company.
I want to talk about romantic relationships or partnerships and how your relationship with your dad may have influenced that part of your life.
It's so sad because I think like for us daughters who like adore our dads and then look up to our dads for all of our childhoods and then on into our 20s, who can be that charming and brilliant again? The father of my son, it's very funny because he is a climber also. He wasn't as in love with my dad as he was with me. It was just like a very weird thing. It was like he knew who my dad was because
He was a hero,
he's a
probably.
legend. The Schwangungs where Hart's dad also climbed.
That's amazing. But that also must have given you a comfort level, like that there was that connection between the man in your life and your dad.
When he walked out on us, my dad was so enraged, so
Mm.
enraged. And my dad like made me go to court. I was just like, let it go. I'm now a mom, which is the thing that I wanted for the last decade or more. It's going to be hard, but like I'm up for it. Like, I've always wanted to be a mom because my father never had a father. Not only he did not know how to parent, but he like really did not understand the whole what is a romantic relationship, like who's supposed to do what.
Although he sounded very much like a romantic in terms of your mother and pursuing her the way he did, feeling they were soulmates.
One of the things that I didn't remember until I was in my late 20s, because I didn't know how weird my life was, like, because I didn't have a point of comparison. Because I was always with one of my parents. My dad and my mom were at every protest march and rally in the 60s. If you peruse the photos of anything that happened in New York or DC and look for the babies, that's probably me. Like, my dad would put me on his shoulders, but he was a cameraman. So he had like 2 or 3 cameras around his neck. There were certain rules about when we were out at a rally, and he would say, oh, if I have to change the film or something, and I have to put you down on the ground because I have to do something with the cameras, there's 2 things you have to remember. Literally, I was like 27 or 28 when I finally realized what this was. Like, oh, this is a fun game that I play with my dad. So rule number 1 was, if the crowd starts moving, because I was so tiny, go to the nearest object, whether it's like a lamppost or a fire
hydrant,
and wrap your arms and legs around it, and we will come back and find you. But like get into this place where like you're safe. But he never used the word safe. It was a game. And the other one was, if you see smoke coming along the ground, because I always had these like little t-shirts and these little stubby sneakers, he was like, grab the edge of your t-shirt and pull it up over your face. Like, huh. So my parents were taking me to rallies where there was like tear gas, and I thought it was really fun. When I'm at rallies now, like as an organizer or leader, and people are always like, aren't you afraid? And I'm like, are you kidding? This is my happy place. I have hundreds, maybe thousands of photographs of kids at rallies, because I'm like, and then I always say to the kids, I remember when I was your age, and I always like load up on chocolate. I asked the mom, would it be okay for me to give this person a little piece of dark chocolate? And they're like, they look a little tired. Could you use a piece of dark chocolate? And then the kids are like, yeah. So when people say, aren't you afraid? I'm just like, there's not even a trace of fear. It's really about tuning into the joy of that memory for me, where like my mom was alive and my dad was alive and we were all together and we were doing something important. I went on fantastic trips with my dad. He was always one for adventure. And that was the time where like we could be away, everybody else, so we could be together and he could just be himself and tell me things.
Did you ski with him or hike with him?
I skied. Oh, there's a funny story about me. He always said, like, because I used to race when I was young, skiing, and he would go like, it's so weird. He said, I do not know how this translates so explicitly, but like the way that you ski, the position of your body is exactly like your mother's. He was like, it's like so weird to see you in a race,
That's
anyway.
Uncanny.
Yeah.
It's like muscle memory transferred from one generation to the next.
It's just bizarre. I never saw my mom do any of these things. Trying to figure out who my mom was and what she did was a lot easier than figuring out my dad, because her life was a lot more of an open book.